I'm Reeves Corsi.
And I'm Mike Jones.
Okay, this is Mike Jones. He started college at Dixie, and then he transferred to the University of Utah, where he got his degree in electrical engineering. After graduation, he got a job at Group 8 Technologies, and after that, he started working on his own project, and he created Valent FX. Do you want to tell us a little about that?
Sure. So Valent FX is a company which we develop and manufacture FPGA development boards for other engineers or electronics enthusiasts to use.
Cool. So what year did that start?
That started in approximately 2012.
And you went to New York, is that correct, to show it off?
Yes, I did. I went to New York City to show some enthusiasts and other like-minded engineers the products. Yes.
And that was at the Maker Faire, right?
Yeah, Maker Faire.
And the first year you went, you actually won an award, right? Your board did?
Yes. Yeah, I got the Blue Ribbon Rewards.
And that kind of let you know you had a good idea and you had a good product that you could kind of turn into a business, and that's where the whole entrepreneurial thing started.
So yeah, definitely. After going to New York, we basically went there just to get feedback, didn't see what kind of demand or interest there was for it, and so we found that there was a relatively good amount of interest, and so at that point we decided to take it into manufacturing.
Cool. And then how did you get funding for that?
So we actually started with a Kickstarter. Yeah.
How did that do?
It did really well. So over 30 days, we raised $115,000 for that.
That's a lot. How did you market that? Like, do you think people just found it on the Kickstarter page, or did you like promote it to your electrical engineering buddies, or?
So there's a lot of blogs, electronics blogs for enthusiasts and professionals who are constantly looking for articles and new and interesting things. And so we did do some marketing through some of those channels, through Twitter and Facebook, and there's also a lot of cross-posting from some of these sites. And so we were able to do a lot of online marketing, essentially.
Very cool. So when did the company Valent FX officially get licensed or incorporated?
Incorporated, I think it was probably 2013.
2013,
that
okay.
We created an LLC. And,
an LLC.
And official business.
Okay, so you've been operating for about 3 years now?
Yes, yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You're still doing sales?
Yeah. We're doing sales. We have some global distributors who are selling the product, and things are going well.
How did you get those connections started? Like, how did you?
So a lot of it is with talking to other people, word of mouth, getting referrals, and mostly and cold calling some different distributors.
So like just calling people in China and seeing if they'll produce your boards, or you are producing in China, right?
Yes. So more so sending emails, but yeah, a lot of questions and answers, and most of those are based upon referrals that we received from some fellow people who are doing manufacturing in China.
Okay, cool. Did you have any partners with you throughout this process?
So I do have a partner who has helped with some of the technical side of the support for the development boards.
Okay, but you have sole proprietorship. You didn't give him any equity to help you. You just paid him.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so he just does he get like royalties, or did you?
So
give him a
essentially
flat rate,
royalty. So through profits, we've decided on an amount to pay out royalty for that.
And you own 100% of the company still.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the product. You said it was an FPGA development board.
Yes. So FPGAs are filled programmable gate arrays. So in electronics, there are two basic methods of processing data. You can either use processors, or you can create a custom set of logic to process all of that data. And so FPGAs handle this combinational or custom type of processing, which is a lot faster, more efficient way of processing data, in contrast to the way that processors end up handling data.
So were you the one to did you you didn't invent the FPGA, right? Like, what was the opportunity space? Like,
So opportunity
what was
space.
what made your product so much better, and what made people put $115,000 of their own money?
Yeah.
What was new about this, and what?
So FPGAs are very, very complex, very, very difficult to work with and to use and to learn about how to use those. And so essentially we saw a need in the market to make it easier for people to be able to access the use of this technology. And so that's where we developed a product and the associated software and workflow environment to be able to support an easy to use FPGA solution.
Okay, so the value in use is that there was kind of doesn't it make using like what is the Logi series? It makes something easier to use, right? Like
The
your
FPGAs.
product. Oh, so your product makes the FPGAs easier to use. So that's the value in use right there.
Yeah. So there's a number of ways of working with the product, and a generalist who doesn't have any electronics experience at all can take it and be able to work with an FPGA.
Okay. And then value in exchange, like we mentioned earlier, is like how much value the customer is getting when they put their money into it, and like what they are receiving out of it. Like, what is the benefit that your customers are getting for their money?
Yeah, so one thing in engineering is that anytime you're working on a new product that uses a specific technology, there's a amount of time that you have to invest to be able to become proficient with that technology. And so in the case of FPGAs, there's going to be a couple weeks of time that even an experienced engineer is going to have to put into learning the tools, learning the programming language, and learning the technology of FPGAs to be able to create a product. And so what we do is in working in our work with our workflow is that they can jump in immediately and begin creating working.
Okay, so it really speeds along the process.
Yeah, so it speeds up the process. The amount of time saved by an engineer over a couple of weeks relative to the product is a very high value.
Okay, and then let's talk about value in finance. We already discussed that you used Kickstarter to get your company rolling. Like, are you taking investments, or are you kind of just running off profits, or using your own equity to keep it going, or
Yeah, we're 100% profitable. So we're able to pay ourselves and to put extra proceeds into further research and development for new products.
Okay, cool. And then value in fitness is about kind of staying alive as a company, or progressing, or adapting. Like, you've kind of turned Valent FX into, or you yourself are kind of doing consulting now. We'll say that's through Valent FX. So how is that? How is that? You adapted clearly. Like, now that you got your boards going, you realize Valent FX like maybe established some credibility that can see that you know what you're talking about, and now you're kind of using those skills to consult. Like, that'd be.
Yeah, so I think in putting the development boards out there actually created some more opportunity space in the market to do consulting. So we're talking to customers and different people, even people who are trying to develop their own products using our FPGA boards. We've found that a lot of those people aren't capable, or that they can use some extra help. And so we have since started doing consulting, in which we will receive funds to actually help them develop in products using the FPGA technology or other technologies.
So that was a pretty big pivot in your company. Originally you started just with products, and you realized that there was an opportunity to like consult with people how to use the product, and now you're making money off that too. That's pretty
correct. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah. And then let's talk about the okay, shit. Okay, so let's talk about your value in distribution. How do you get the product out? How do people find out about your product? And how do they place an order if they want it?
So we have a distributor, which is the most direct way of people being able to receive the product. So it's an international distributor. They have different storage locations all over the world. And so the end user can go directly to their site, and depending on what region they're in, put in the order, and it will be directly shipped to them. We also have a website, which will link to the distributors that will allow them to do the orders. And then we've got the website, our own website, that has all the support information and videos of how to use it any technical information.
So you don't have to handle any of the shipping. Like you're never shipping anything out of your.
No. So yeah, we've got the distributor who fully handles that. So we put it in order for manufacturer. That order is shipped to the distributor, who then sub-distributes that to the different locations globally once it's shipped out.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And how do you manage your resources? Do you control, or do you dictate to the people under you, or do you kind of let them develop what they want? And like, what is your office space? Like, where do you actually create all these boards?
Well, so the boards are designed in a lab environment. There's a lot of prototyping that goes into the development of a product like this, and so there are multiple different boards, and we have new boards that are coming online. And so the resources for developing those is an engineering environment in which we'll create prototypes, test the prototypes, test different types of functionality, and once we deem that those are ready for manufacturing, we'll create the design files and send them over to the manufacturer, and they can go ahead and create those there.
Okay, cool. And do you have any advice for future entrepreneurs? Like, I know you didn't ever go into college thinking you're going to be an entrepreneur. Like, you don't have a business degree, you have mechanical or electrical engineering, so it clearly wasn't what you intended to do. Like, what advice do you have?
Yeah, so I think the best thing to be successful is to really understand the product space that you're working in, and having a love for that. So one thing that really helped me was to be able to work in the engineering environment for long enough to be able to see this need, or this market space that had a lot of opportunity in it. And so that's one way of doing it. It would be to work for a company, work on designing things, and try to determine, where there is a need, and then as well just being able to talk to people, receiving feedback, talking to them about ideas or things that might work well. But those are the two main things that really helped me with the Valent FX.
Cool. Thank you for your time. Again, this is Mike Jones, creator and founder of Valent FX Technologies, and I'm Reeves Corsi.